What happened to that slutty girl from your school? She's a children's book author. J.K. Rowling. As hilarious as it would be, no. Lol. She died of a drug overdose the same year that my mom did, and I only found out during a candle lighting thing at the funeral home. No one came to light a candle for her, and I didn't feel like I knew her well enough to do that. I kinda regret it. Light one now. It is not too late for that. She committed suicide, but everyone thinks it was a murder. I hate it when stuff like that happens. People try to cleanse anything of culpability, and when someone offs themselves because of the names they were called and the rumors that were spread, it had to be murder. People in my school did that too to a guy who killed himself because of several viscous rumors, but they made it about how his mom had committed suicide. I know of at least 2 suicides that I fully believe were murders. Just shit that made zero sense about it. And neither of these people had any obvious, in the moment, or retrospectively, motivation to kill themselves. Married her. Your name fits. She had nice tits. She married the resident Poindexter. He was the only guy she went on a date with who treated her like a person, and not a girl. They did all the geek stuff, Comic-Cons, sci-fi festivals, Ren fairs. Been married for 35 years. Nice couple. Every geeky nerd guy would like to thank you for revealing that it does occasionally happen that way. He's a buddy of mine. I would say she got pregnant, has multiple children, and works a dead-end job, but that describes pretty much everyone I went to school with. On the other hand, the popular guy who went to business school ended up becoming a heroin dealer and is now doing 20 years. Human trafficking is wrong, especially if you're trafficking heroes. Heroin. I'm good. Got a new fridge today, so that's nice. I also just got a new fridge today. Does that mean I'm a slut too? It's not too late to start now. Found her on Facebook. 3 kids. Steady job. Seems to be doing well. If you can think of one, does that mean it's you? Yes. She's a boss bitch working from home in a pyramid scheme. She's a CEO, graduated from the School of Hard Knocks, works at Hooters, and pretty sure she has a sugar daddy since she seems to travel a lot. That or Hooters pays extremely well. We call them Instagram models or hookers. This sounds like a line from a GTA character. She married some heroin addict and had 7 kids before she died from a nod. The 7 kids all got split up since she had 5 different baby daddies. She married a guy from another town and moved away, having never danced at the senior prom. Deleted. It's like a haiku with a super ducked up structure. 858 reversed long limb bed haiku. She ended up having her 2nd kid a couple months after high school graduation. Started working a dead-end job. Got married to the 2nd baby daddy, then divorced a couple years later, and is still basically stuck in that cycle 10 years later. Cycle of more babies? All I can remember is that she moved to our school in grade 7, and she has dated half of the male student body. Lower half, I presume. Thank you for this. I was the slutty girl in my school for sure. Continued my slutty phase into university, and 2 years in found a slutty dude. Gave up our slutty lives for each other, and have been together almost 10 years. We still have slutty sex, but now only with each other. Wholesome, in a slutty way. She's now a semi-famous actress in my country. She has a kid, and has become extra religious. Which kind of religion? Baptist? She got pregnant during her freshman year of college. The father got killed in a car crash during her pregnancy. She ended up either committing suicide or overdosing when the child was 2. The family says she committed suicide, but people I know who were closer with her said she developed a bad drug problem shortly after the child was born, and say it was more likely an accidental overdose than suicide. After having fun sleeping around, she ended up settling down with a nice Indian guy her parents wanted her to be with. Was she Indian herself? Yay. She had sex with my brother who molested me and is also her cousin and told everyone I made it up. Mind you, she was 15 and he was 25. Now she's an LNA. That sounds a lot like rape. She married a cop who beat the shit out of her regularly for years. She finally got the strength to leave and is doing much better now. One hit me up yesterday looking for a place to stay. She has nowhere to go. Did you give her a place? No. I already have plenty people staying here and my GF would never allow that shit. I don't even want to deal with it, to be honest. She fell off a waterfall shortly after high school and she was never normal after that. Still very slutty, but her eyes were doll-like and sort of lifeless. Like the lights are on, but no one's home. Probably gave her brain damage. She's the trainer for a minor league hockey team. She has sex with every player who will have her. It's sad. She was a nice girl, and usually I'd be all girl power, she's getting tons of ass, but it didn't seem like that ever made her happy. Open bracket. That's horrible. What hockey team? Heard it might be the Letterkenny Shamrocks. The college slut is now married with 4 children and posts religious things on her Facebook page. I'm not kidding. Why is that surprising? In most cases being religious and being slutty don't combine well. Became a nun. Seriously. I was it. But I went to a conservative Christian school, and what most people would consider fairly normal teenage behavior made me slutty. I got married to my first serious boyfriend when I was 24. This is our 14th year together, and we have 2 kids with a 3rd on the way, a Labradoodle, and we live in middle-class suburbia, so not much. Labradoodles are the sluttiest dogs. He is pretty free with allowing others to touch him, and he will snog anyone who let him, so. Not ducking me, so nothing much has changed. You. 3 kids with 3 guys by graduation, which she didn't attend because she had a shift at a Chinese buffet. She was the most popular girl in middle school / freshman year. All of that goes away when you're pregnant. Still popular with guys that appreciate baby bellies. She ended up having a daughter and getting tossed to the side. She was still really good looking and a very nice person last time I saw her. Bumped into her at the grocery store the next town over by chance, and we got talking. She asked me out, but being happily married I turned her down kindly. Honestly, if I was single I would have definitely took up on an offer. Even though she was one of the super popular girls in school and had a reputation that she puts out, she was always very kind to me. I've always been against the whole slut mentality. Everyone should be free to love who, how often, and how many times / people they want, no matter what their sex or orientation. The double standard is bollocks. Agreed. She is married and has a beautiful family. She is successful and looks genuinely happy. Never thought that this thread would be so genuinely feel good, warm and fuzzy. I'm great. The slutty girl from our school just really developed a lot sooner than anyone else. Like in 4th grade, I had always felt bad for her because she didn't have anyone at her home that cared or helped her out. Around junior year in high school, she pulled her shit together, stopped partying and started studying. She started dating the kindest boy, and she is now 1 year away from graduating from nursing school, still with her boyfriend. I'm so proud of her, and she had to work twice as hard as everyone else with no support from home. She went from telling us about blowjobs in 6th grade to being a successful, beautiful, almost to be nurse. Same thing that happens to basically every other kind of girl from my hometown that didn't manage to get out into the world, went to the community college and got a CNA license and works at a nursing home / the hospital, or she got her cosmetology license, or she married a Marine Corpsman / Coast Guardsman. Regardless of her job / marriage, she has minimum 2 kids and drives a 2007 Nissan Altima. What does getting out into the world mean for your small town? Which is not to imply by any means being a cosmetologist or a CNA is a bad life. My mom is a CNA, and I have several talented stylists in the family. What I really meant was these kids in my town have dreams, and then once they have a diploma they don't go out and achieve them. I managed to start by the skin of my teeth. I apologize if I came across judgy. I really didn't meant to. Every girl who wore crop tops and bared their midriffs that I went to school with were the most sexually liberated in the school. Each one got pregnant either senior year or just after. It's like them showing their belly buttons was advertising for put a baby here. They're all doing great right now though. Turns out if you have a kid at 18 you struggle at first but then have a lot of time to bounce back. And by the time you're 36, those kids are legit adults. Deleted. Statistics have proven the children, primarily girls, of teen moms go on to be teen moms themselves. She became a porn star. Name. Your name fits. I think I might qualify as that slutty girl. Maybe. I had a lot of fun in high school, but the one time I caught someone gossiping about me, some guy saying he'd gotten laid when he hadn't, I played along and told them he was horrible in bed, which seemed to nip it in the bud. Rather than a slut, let's say I was in touch with my sexual side and gave multiple guys a chance in serial monogamy. I'm getting close to 40 now and have been happily married 12 years. Live out in the Botanies. 1 kid. Lots of pets. Work for the state and my coworkers get surprised if they meet me outside of work as in very proper at work, but kept my bawdy sense of humor outside of work. Happy Cake Day. Holy crap. I think this is the first time I got to know about my cake day on my actual cake day. She was raped by some man and committed suicide. She's a slutty grandma at age 40. I know a few. One of them is on track to become a brain surgeon. She was always incredibly smart so this does not surprise me in the least. One of them is addicted to heroin. I don't know anything about her life outside of that, but I think that's an indicator that it most likely isn't good. The last one seems to be doing well. The first thing I noticed when I met up with her after high school is that she gained a bit of weight, but she's filled out nicely and it looks good on her. She's financially secure, has great friends, her own place, and also had a baby recently. The dad is a deadbeat, but she doesn't seem to miss him at all so it's probably better that he's not in the picture. She seems very happy. Transitioned into being a guy. He's still a slut though, just a happier one. She makes special videos on the internet, like cooking tutorials. No you idiot. She does unboxing videos. She became a meth/heroin addict with 2 kids and no-show baby daddies. Lost custody of the kids too. Apparently she's in recovery now. IDK. My early 20s were wild. Ended up in prison for a while. Doing great now though. Same girl same. Second half of my 20s have been a slow uphill battle. I'm hoping I can get an associate's by the time I am 30. I got out of prison at 29. Went back to school at 31. After unexpectedly ending up with custody of my nephew. I have a bachelor's now. Working toward my master's and some certifications. I'm 37. Have a good job. Own a house. And am finally just past that paycheck to paycheck life. It was rough. And being a felon made it 100x harder. But if my lazy felonious ass can do it, you can too. Nothing good. That's for sure. She was married, twice from what I heard. Abandoned her special needs daughter, ADHD, partially deaf, general anxiety, to the care of her parents, who were abusive to her when she was growing up, so she could go out and continue to party and basically live the best trailer trash life she could. I married her. Take that 2-pack. As it turns out you can turn a hoe into a housewife. Not for long. Been 20 years. You know something I don't? She went religious. Married some old guy 3 times her age. Moved to Georgia and had a bunch of Jesus babies. What's a Jesus baby? She gained 80 pounds and last I saw her worked on overnight cleaning crews. We dated for 18 months. Final year of 6th form and then my first year of university. She predictably cheated on me, then a couple years later dropped out of uni course, having repeated at least 1 year already, and moved to another university. Before dropping out of that course, I'd sometimes hear from her and tried to offer some support. But it became clear she was working as a prostitute, and at one point, knowing that I was quite keen on photography and video editing, mostly car content, she even asked if I'd visit to help her create content to sell on adult work. I declined. I did hear from her again a few years later via Twitter, and it sounded like she'd cleaned up, found proper work, and got on top of her depression. But all her social media went quiet around 2 years ago, and I've always been kinda scared to do any further digging to find out. I wish her no ill and hope she's okay, but I fear the worst. She went to rehab when she was 15 and settled down a little bit. Grew up, got a little slutty again. Settled down, got married, had 2 kids, is a middle school teacher, has crazy stories, but stays well behaved and boring now. What crazy stories has she had? One that stands out was when she worked at a major amusement park in the area running rides. Went there once on a day off. Ended up blowing a random guest in the Ferris wheel to make the guy she was trying to bang jealous. It worked. A few days later they got drunk at an after party and the owner of the motel the party was at gave them a free room. Much drunken banging commenced. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.